Okay, welcome to the Wednesday, August 9th meeting of the Lenox Select Board. It's a regular meeting, and I have no announcements from the chair, but I will look for a motion to accept the minutes of July 12th.
I move that we accept the minutes of July 12th.
Second?
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next up is Citizens Open Forum, and we welcome Lenox residents to address the board for up to 2 minutes. Is there anybody that wants to address the board? Mr. Hackman.
Hi there.
Just,
Robert Hackman.
yeah, step up and just to identify yourself so the camera knows.
August Elder, Robert Hackman, 34 St. Anne's Avenue, Lenox. I have sent a letter to the selectmen, which I think they must have, regarding the elm tree up at Rolling Hills. And I'm sort of here for a status to see if any action has been taken. I have a copy of the letter if anybody would like to see it.
I've seen it. I've read it.
Yeah, Bob, we've all seen the letter, and, thanks for doing that. And, town hall staff has actually been working on that, trying to communicate between the electric company and Rolling Hills. And if you leave your phone number here, I think you already left your phone number, I'll get back to you tomorrow or the next day with what the status of it is. And I'll keep in contact with you.
Thank you.
Okay? Thanks, Bob.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Nobody else for Citizens Open Forum? Oh, what I didn't do is say that CTSB is filming and Clarence Fanto is here from the Berkshire Eagle recording. So now we'll go to the consent agenda. And we have a few items on here. Donation acceptance for the fire department. Chief Chris O'Brien is seeking permission to accept a monetary donation to the fire department. Donation acceptance to the police department. Chief Steve O'Brien is seeking permission to accept a monetary donation to the Lenox Police Department. And we have a one-day wine and malt license for the Lennoxdale Fire Company, and that's a license. The date is wrong on here, or the day is wrong. It's Saturday.
Yeah, we got the consent agenda says 3rd, but
Yeah, that's.
the application is for the 19th.
It's the 19th. Yeah, it should read, the date is August 19th from 5 to 11 p.m. at Crystal Street in Lennoxdale. It's their annual block party they have, the town. Great event. I just want to plug it for a second. It's a great event, a lot of fun for everybody. It brings the whole community of Lennoxdale together, so it's a fun time. Be there if you can. And then we have a one-day all-alcoholic license for Haley Barbieri is seeking a one-day all-alcoholic license for Thursday, August 3rd from 3 to 7 at Ventford Hall. Certified bartender will be present. And the rest of the river, Berkshire Regional Planning is recommending the appointment of an alternate Rest of the River Municipal Committee member. There was a memo in your packets from the town manager that they want to appoint Mr. Ketchen as a alternate member. It's all the other towns are doing it. It's just another person on that committee, which the life of which we don't know even what that's going to be at this point. They've done their work. And then we have a one-day all-alcoholic license. Haley Barbieri is seeking a one-day all-alcoholic license for Thursday, August 26th from 3 to 7 at Ventford Hall, and a certified bartender will be present. So if I can get a motion on the consent agenda?
I move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So the next order of business, and this is our last order of business on the meeting tonight, is the liaison assignments for the board. This is something we started probably 10 years ago, Dave, didn't we, with liaison
We did, yes.
assignments? And I think there was a reason for it then, was to open a lot of communication between everybody.
Yep.
No one person in particular, or group in particular. And it actually worked good. I think it was a good idea. It worked well. It's kind of the part of it where times have changed and the communication is excellent now between the town manager's office and the boards and staff and all the departments. So that part has worked very well. But we have different committees and all. And the good thing about doing these liaison assignments is it keeps all of us involved. We can report back to this, at this meeting, of what different committees and groups are doing. You're not on that committee, you don't have to spend every minute of your life going to meetings just because you're on that committee. Certain ones you have to go to every meeting, but not every one. But it's just what it says, a liaison to bring a voice from that committee or that board back to this board and town manager and staff here at Town Hall. So
Can I add to that a little bit?
certainly,
I think another important part of it is that instead of having 5 selectmen go to a town department head, if they contact the liaison can go and get the information for them, so that the department heads don't have to continuously field questions from 4 or 5 different people. I think that's worked reasonably well, at least with the departments that I'm a liaison to. So I try to keep abreast of what's happening in those departments, so if anybody has a question, they can refer it to me, and I'll get the answer if I don't have it. So
Yeah.
I think that's worked out well.
yeah, that was the intent, to open up the communications between
Right.
everybody.
Right.
And I'll add to what Dave said. I've found that with departments, like, say, community, for example, it also serves, they know which person to call when they're not sure what to do. That's happened quite often with Darlene or other, people in those situations. The second point I'll make, most of these are departments. It's at least been my experience that the elected boards, the other elected boards, aren't terribly interested in getting liaised with. Or at least you're there to kind of check in with, hey, what's going on? What have you guys been discussing? But, I think they feel a sense of independence, and
As they should.
yes, by all means. And we have, how many times did we say in front of, when this room was packed with people on wireless, how many times did we say the planning board's an elected board? We're not here to tell them what to do. So, I'm not.
Right. There's not one right answer on how to handle these liaison assignments. You have to just figure it out and make it work. So, anybody else got anything to say about that? If not, we'll just get right into it. A lot of us have done the same ones for a long time.
I would point out, just for maybe the benefit of the audience more than you all, this is the first time there's been turnover in a very long time. So you look at the dates.
Yeah.
It's 2019, but y'all, Mr. Surf is new to the board, but y'all have been more or less doing this for a while. So, but there's been a shuffle, so
Yeah,
it's time to shuffle.
We're gonna fill Max in some of those spots. So, what I'll do, I'll just go down through the list and read who's on it now, and if they want to stay on it, fine. If somebody else feels they're, but we have the police and fire. We have Dave Roach that does that. Neil, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah.
School committee, Neil has done that for a few years. Happy with that, Neil? Or?
Like a lot of years.
Yeah.
Thinking about horse trading, and Mary Beth and I are thinking about a little switch, so.
Yeah,
That's fine, if you're
She's
both
interested in
agreeable
that.
to it, that's.
yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's the way we work it, right there.
Yeah.
Housing Authority.
Yeah, I don't do much. Actually, I got a call from one time last year and said, I understand you're our our liaison. But I didn't get an answer to their question for them. But it's also an elected position.
Yeah.
And it's controlled by the state,
Yeah.
not the town. So
Yeah.
there's not much we can do there, but except keep everybody informed.
I went to a couple meetings with you years ago.
Yes, we did.
It was interesting.
It was interesting,
Yeah.
right?
Planning Board,
Yeah, that and the community
Same
center,
thing, right, Neil?
Keep that the same.
yeah. Community Center? Yeah, I know you like that. FinCom?
I'm happy to turn that over to Max if he'd like to give that a shot. It's kind of good to get the lay of the land with FinCom because, they do comment on the entire budget. That might be interesting for you to
Sure.
go after. Okay.
And it's a good place to learn a lot.
Yeah.
Yep,
Great.
we've all done it.
Yeah. Historic District Commission, I'm on that, and there again, it's like the housing, there's not much there, but,
Right.
if anybody needs me, I'm here.
Right.
Historic Commission, I know you like that, Dave, right?
Yeah, if I don't get fired from it, but yeah, occasionally. But yes, I do like it.
Yeah. The nice thing, when you really get into the people we have in town government, you really make some nice friendships, they're all good people. It's not a stressful,
Definitely.
argumentative type of thing.
They're all
It's really-
dedicated.
It's all dedicated.
They're
It's
all volunteers, most of them
Yeah.
are all volunteers,
Yeah. So,
They're great bunch of
actually, once you go to meetings, you just enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Building inspector, I've done that for quite a while. I'd like to retain that if I can.
Okay.
Assessors also, unless anybody else is interested in assessors, they only meet a few times a year, and it's really not, they're elected also, so they do
I've
their,
been going to their meetings a little bit just to educate myself, because it's
But-
interesting what they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, you
But-
can,
they're,
keep up
as I
with
say, they're elected and they know what they're doing. Permanent Building Committee, it's Neil and myself. I'm going to stay on that, I'm sure Neil does. Community Preservation Committee. Neil, you're on that?
Yeah, well, let's get through the list, because I want to make sure Max has an opportunity to expose himself to some things, but
Yeah.
I'm sort of involved in a couple of potential things coming along, so I feel like I should see those through.
Affordable Housing Trust and Committee, we're not even going there. We know who's got that.
We're not changing that.
yeah.
Village Improvement Committee.
I'm happy to take this.
Okay, that was Warren, so fine, that's good. That's a group that, it goes kind of like this. Sometimes there's a lot going on, sometimes not so much, but you can make what you want of it, though. It's pretty good. Environmental Committee, Neil?
I gotta be honest, I don't know the last time they've met.
Yeah, it's been a minute. And
I said hello to, I'm drawing a blank now, what's her name, the chair, and really
I
that's.
think a lot of that is a result of just how Green Communities is structured in the state. A lot of those activities have been absorbed at the departmental level. So,
Might be time to look at some of the committees and see if they're even active
okay,
or if necessary.
That's one.
Yeah, I think let's put that as a question mark if there is actually any activity.
and I think the next committee falls into that category as well.
Land Use Management Committee,
Happy to take it,
okay.
unless it doesn't meet. But
Well, I mean, in terms of an issue portfolio, I think we definitely want to keep it on the list.
Okay.
Whether a formal committee convenes to deal with the issues or not, there should be someone riding herd over the topic generally, I think. That would be my recommendation.
okay, great.
Okay, next one's the Rest of the River Committee, and we've talked about the Rest of the River, and Chris is going to be alternate member on there now. And actually, the future of that, we're not really sure how long that's going to last, but in some form or another, it's going to be around. I mean, we're going to be talking about the river,
Suggestion on
maybe
that?
different, huh?
Can I make a suggestion on that?
Yep.
I would suggest that the current chairman of any year would be the liaison to the rest of the river, because that's something that's going to be ongoing,
Yeah,
and it's going to be kind of important to the town in many aspects.
yeah. Yeah, it's going to change now, but it's, because they're
I
at the
mean,
next phase.
Granted, we've appointed Chris as our alternate, but I think as a board being informed, I think it should be the chairman who could report on that.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna first ask Chris, do you feel that some of the discussions we've had on this are okay to,
Yeah,
okay.
I think it is.
So, Chan is not interested in doing this forever,
That's true.
and Chan also feels like, you know, I've stayed arm's length because of the actual conflict I have, but in broad brush discussions, I've had conversations with Chan and Chris, and the feeling is that once actual activity begins or real plans come for us to look at in terms of transportation or other things, that we need someone with some technical expertise. So I not to take away from the idea that the chair be well versed in what's going on, but we have this sense that there should be someone that replaces Chan that's more on the technical side, that can look at the work plans and the activities going on and things and advise us if, you know, people are doing what they said they were going to do, and if, you know, regulations are being met or timeframes are being met, you know, protect Lennox's interests.
So like a Western River agent.
Yeah, it's.
Technical consultant
Yeah.
/ clerk of the works
Yeah.
slash consultant, you
We probably
know.
should change the name of what this is. The rest of the River Committee has basically done their job, and that was to work out the agreement. Now we're in the implementation stage, or just almost into the implementation stage, and that's where it changes. This is where we accept the fact it's going to get done, whether you like it or don't like it, it's going to get done. And now we have to make sure that it gets done correctly. And nobody on this board or in town hall has the expertise to do that. And it's something we're going to have to hire out. We're going to, I mean.
That's what we're talking.
We're talking, I mean, it's going to be, we're going to pay good money. It's part of the whole thing, you know. I mean, we've known this for years, that we're going to have to get a lot of expert opinion. And to implement this plan, there's got to be eyes watching everybody, whether it's GE, EPA, us, everybody, because it's got to get done. You got one chance to get it right, and you got to get it done. So, yeah, so I mean, I guess this board will have the direction of what direction, who we should hire, and that type of thing. But we need to, I mean, we're going to hire some really people that know what they're doing.
Right, so after discussions with Chan and Chris, I've been putting out feelers on who might be an appropriate technical consultant / engineer who has that expertise. Again, I can't do it because my conflicts, but it would be a person with a background like me in the engineering and environmental cleanup side, but with an active company. I mean, we had hoped possibly someone, you know, around this community or this general area that's retired from the business might be that person, but we've kind of come to the conclusion that Chris and I are going to probably have to reach out to some engineering firms and do that. And we'll obviously come to the board when we have a proposed person, and, you know, settlement funds will be the source of compensation and whatnot. But that's to come, but I think, you know, we're actively working on it because, you know, things seem to be moving along.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, they're going to start, and we're committed to see it through. Enough said about that?
Sounds good.
Okay. So the library.
I'm
Mary Beth
happy to
and
continue doing that.
Max, you want to step in there and
Sure.
be part of that? Town Hall, Mary Beth. What do you do around Town Hall?
Oh, you know, just that. I think that it might be great if Max kind of took that, because again, it's a great way to meet everybody in Town Hall, kind of get a handle on, you know, assessors, the clerk's office, land use. You know, you just sort of have a little bit of contact with everybody. It's a good one-year thing, and we can revisit that next year.
Sure. Kennedy Park, Warren was on there. Max, want to?
No, I'd like to do that.
Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah,
Good.
if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind, no. DPW, I seem to always default to that, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Lenox Cultural Council,
I can keep up with that.
okay. School Committee, Strategic Plan Committee. Neil, you want to stay with that, or you want Mary Beth to?
It's gone, it's not happening.
It's gone, okay. So there's another one we can.
Finished.
Chamber of Commerce, I know you like that, Dave.
Yep, I do.
And tree planting. They're going to talk to Max about this a little bit, you know, and this is working with DPW and, you know, that kind of thing, so if you want to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
That'll be a big thing, because and I think there's an essential nexus between that and for the village improvement as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And we should, I don't know if there's like a new committee yet, but we've talked about needing a facilities person that would report to Billy and manage facilities in a hands-on way, so it's not just like saying, hey, Billy, here's a problem, and Billy has to go fix it. And I think when we were having discussions about sidewalks and, you know, what kind of sidewalks, and we're having discussions about keeping up this building and keeping up other buildings and being aware of the facilities issues, I think the town sort of tree stuff kind of should play into that as well. So we need to further bake, you know, the cake on coming up with that, you know,
Yeah, that's a little bit
that
of a-
person, but,
It's in progress, but it's a work in progress.
right.
Yeah. So that's all I have on that. Anybody
that
else?
makes sense.
All right, so we'll take what you've just discussed tonight and put it back out in a 2023 slate. So thanks for that, that's helpful.
Okay, so next we're on a new and old business. Is there anything new or old any of the members want to discuss? Okay, if not, then...
Just
I'm
one
sorry,
thing.
Yeah.
I noticed that over the weekend, anyway, one business had a canopy out over the sidewalk.
I think it's still there.
Actually, it wasn't tonight,
Oh, really?
but I think that's in violation of what we considered to have, and I asked the town manager to look into that.
Yeah, please, there was, I don't know if it's the same business, there were two of them there this morning.
Yeah, there were.
Okay.
And
I mean,
one was half in the road, to be honest with you.
obviously that flies in our face because we don't allow anybody else to do anything like that, so, no.
And they know better, and it's,
Yes,
They're just-
yes, it's not a new business.
no.
I feel like that's always a rough subject, isn't it? Because we don't want to be anti-businesses. They help us, they attract people to our town, they're doing a great job.
But if somebody trips over one of those
No, I understand, trust me.
We're gonna get
'cause
sued.
Yeah.
Along the same veins, there's a place that was, you know, basically doing table service to park benches pretty far away from
A stretch.
the actual tables.
Yeah. Well, it is frustrating when you try and work with businesses and they don't want to work with you, or they don't follow up on things that they're supposed to follow up on. It gets very frustrating for all of us. So, that being said, if there's nothing else,
I'm good.
our next regular meeting will be Wednesday, August 30th at 6 PM. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.